Hey, peace and blessings, family. My name is Nero. In this video today, I want to talk with you guys about the moon in Taurus, continuing my interpretation of the moon and the signs. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So, with the moon in Taurus, we must first talk about the moon and then Taurus energy. Moon energy and then Taurus energy. Now, what does the moon represent at its most basic level? Your emotions and feelings, that which brings you emotional fulfillment. Your reactions and responses, the way you react and respond to the world that you are in. Um, Along with your mother, the relationship with your mother, the kind of mothering you got, how your mother was, what kind, the kind of mother you had, along with your past and childhood, and the things that you are naturally instinctively do, things that how you were as a child, things like that, and what your past may have been like, things like that. But I usually don't like to get into all those details, so I mainly just talk about the reactions and responses and what brings you emotional security, because that's mainly what's most important, and all the other things are just extra details. So yeah, if that's what you're looking for, I'm sorry, but there's other channels that get into more of those things. So yeah. Now we move on to Taurus. So what is Taurus? Taurus is Venus, and Venus is we know Venus deals with love, values, beauty, the finer things in life, um, resources, what one has to offer to the world, a lot. And for the most part, off the top of my head, I know those are the things that Venus primarily deals with. And then yeah. Now we also talk about second house. We talk about Taurus as well. And was second house? The second house, just like in second house is Venetian energy, or a better way of saying this, second house is just like sure similar with Venus and Taurus. So what second house deals with? It's the Earth house. It deals with stability. It's a house that deals with, having stability. Having stability, a foundation. A roof over the head in some way or another. And having resources. Something that one can offer to the world. So yeah. Now, with that being said, let's get into it. So, with the when it comes to the moon and Taurus, what brings these individuals emotional fulfillment, you know, is things you know things that deal with things dealing with beauty, the finer things in life, uh, excuse me, having a foundation and maintaining and stabilizing that foundation, that's the security, and whether that might be in a material sense or more so in a you know spiritual sense, because not all Taurians are always physical, so it all depends. And along with that, what are other things? Oh, and then having a value system, things that they love and appreciate, and all of that, and having a resource and things that they can offer to the world. I think I said that already, but yeah, having that too is what brings these people emotional comfort, and stability, security. Now, yeah. Now, with these kind of people, I think of, and I know it's Taurus moon in particular myself, so I can, speak on from personal experience. And I say that these people definitely, much like the sun, and you don't even have to say the sun, just like Taurus, Taurus itself, these people definitely have this spirit of the bull more so than a Taurus sun would. But anyway, yeah. So, and I may say that because when it comes to, trying to, um, bring them a different way of, seeing things for and having them change like their perspective, or and just having them understand and really what's we're looking for, implement change. you know um, they're going to be the most challenging and hardest to change, and this is a good thing, and it's mainly because the more harder something or someone is to change, that means the more solid and stable that they are, and the more grounded they are in their reality and their own truth. But on the more negative end of this, which I can talk about what remedy this later. But on the more negative end is that this can bring about individuals who, and then you can also say that for the react. Oh, we're talking about reaction responses right now. They're very stable and grounded when it comes to the things that they that are that they're experiencing from that external. But um, let's get back to the negative end of it. Sorry about that. Sometimes I repeat myself and get caught in that, trying to stop that, but it'll get better over time eventually. Just gotta keep at it. But yeah, on the more negative end, due to them already being so grounded and not really seeing things from different perspectives or doing things differently, kind of like which is what Virgo is the best at when it comes to the air signs. This, uh, yeah, the negative end of this is kind of like what I was saying. They're not able to. They resist change a lot. Don't know what it's like to make those like Virgo. Don't know what it's like to make those changes that are necessary in order for them to be more flexible, more adaptable, in order to be able to in order to become more discerning. Um, in order to become more discerning and more analytical when it comes to the things that it is that they value and find security and what's the other way looking at and a sense of foundation, things like that. In I hope that's making sense. But yeah, other than Virgo, you can always use like opposing energy too, and that gets a bit more theoretical. And what I mean by that is you could put a Taurus moon with a Scorpio moon. And a better way of saying that is like if a Taurus moon, start to utilize, start to be more aware of like Scorpio, Scorpio energy when it comes to like their, internal realm. And that doesn't mean that they become a Scorpio moon. It means more so that they, you know, it means more so that they become more discerning and more aware of that which brings them like that, which what they really, because it's already the moon is what I'm saying. I'm already saying it's the moon. Well, we already know it's the moon, so it's more so when it comes to their emotional, the things that it is they value. When it comes to their emotional state. The thing. I don't know why I can't put it into words. It goes back to talking about like the whole thing with Virgo being more discerning about what it is that needs to be kept and maintained and what needs to be, left out. And when I say, like Scorpio, when the Taurus moon uses like Scorpio energy, basically what I'm saying to not make it so confusing is when they are able to discern what it is that's worth keeping that connection to, and that gives them that depth and more so the other things which are just there as like, hoarding and to keep things, and as, unnecessary possessions. And that's the stuff that needs to get tossed out. I hope you guys get what I'm talking, mean when I say that. And then that all goes back to making those changes and being more discerning, and getting to, really becoming more refined with what it is that they value and, nurture and um, find stability, security, and a foundation in. So, yeah, I probably tried it out a lot more than I needed to, but yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. This will be my interpretation on the moon in Taurus. I hope you guys um, enjoyed it. And if not, it's all good because, you can't please everyone. But anyway, more so importantly, if you have any feedback, any questions that you would want to ask or anything, leave that down in the comments and I will get back to that when I can. But yeah, until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good afternoon. I love y'all. Peace and blessings.